So if you are like me and you've got yourself a 40 series Land Cruiser, no matter what it is, short wheelbase, long wheelbase ute, troop carrier, anything petrol, diesel, no matter what, unless you paid $30,000, you have probably got some rust somewhere in your vehicle. I'd say about 50% of the people that have the rust in their vehicle have it in their floor pans. Now, how bad that is, who knows, but in quite a few cases, they're so bad that you need to replace the whole thing. Like mine, I am one of those cases, but I am in an absolute extreme case because I've never seen a vehicle this rusty before. So my entire floor pan is rusty to where you can put your foot straight through and there's absolutely no metal left there at all. It's all 100% rust, not just little holes, whole thing's rusted. So in your case, you might just have a few holes. You might be as bad as me, but that's what we've got to repair today. Got to repair a lot of things in this, but we're first starting with the floor pans. So in order to do this properly, you've got to have a few different things. Obviously, you've got to know how to sort of do some basic welding. And the other thing you'll need is a new rust repair panel section. So basically with these old 40 series, the lucky part is that they are quite popular. So there is quite a large selection of rust repair panels. So these are my rust repair sections. I got these from a company on Facebook. There's a few different places you can get these. This company is a company called Resto Patch Panels, Western Australia. So I went on there and it was actually only $400 for both of these to actually get them shipped to me. So as you can see, this is our actual floor section that's rusted out. And the one good thing about these, and the one thing I would tell you to look out for, is it has this long section running up the side, which will also usually get rust. So I need pretty much all of this panel and a bit more as well. It will require cutting, obviously cutting of the body to fit it in and then weld it up. I'm probably not going to get it, you know, in the most fantastic shape. It'll look good enough to be a floor pan, have carpet go over the top of it, but I'm obviously not a professional panel beater, body work or anything. I just like to do this work myself. So it's in a few steps. Obviously, first cut out the rust from the body. You sort of cut off where the rust sort of ends and the actual metal starts. I'll say that be very cautious when you're cutting these down, because when you first fit them up, it might look, oh, I've got to cut heaps off, but you'll probably end up finding after you actually fit it up, you actually need a bit more meat on there and you shouldn't have cut it off. Probably leave everything on that, do as minimal cutting on that and do as most cutting from the body as possible. And then obviously after you've cut all that out, fit this up, do a nice fit, test fit, cutting a little bit, cutting here, cutting there, cutting there, and then obviously final welding and then obviously paint preparation. So mine is very, very bad, and I have done rust repairs on this already. Not a whole lot, but I have done one real nice one on this side, which I'll show you. Now this is one that I've done on this side, and this whole part here was completely rusted, like there was absolutely nothing left. This is what I believe will be welding the floor pan to. I think it comes all the way under the floor here. It's good to have this section good first before you start welding in your floor pans, because this is what you'll be welding onto. You don't want to be welding onto rust, obviously. So this is where our floor pan obviously is. So we're going to start cutting all the way out, all around, everything like that. And obviously a lot of cutting required. So, did a big cutting there. As you can see, we've got our big section out here. Obviously the main part out, and I'm just about to take this part out here. So I'll explain why I am cutting this extra bit here. It's because if you see this down here, it probably comes just up to the bottom here where that rust is. So you obviously can't weld onto that rust. So, and you
can't bring the floor up to here. It needs to actually be propped down here. So what you do is you cut this big section out and you add a big bit of extra metal there. You put your floor pan on and weld onto that, and then cut the excess off at the end. So that's basically just why I'm doing that.
Wait, does it have to come back? That's where your body mounts. So we've obviously made quite a bit of progress here. We obviously cut out all of the floor here, and with those extra bits that I talked about, cut them out there, and another one here. You can see you got the square bit there, and then I've also come up here, chopped a bit just out of this part here, because that's where our floor pan's going. It's actually going in between these two bits here. Slides in there. It doesn't go on the outside. It slides up in between those two bits there. So this part joins onto the floor pan. So obviously rust in the back there, pull up all the rusty metal. I'll show you on the other side. Up in there, that's where I've been chopping it there. So this, so the whole floor pan goes here. Okay, so it's held in here just with a vice grip. That's sort of where we're at. Sort of got the level of the floor there. It'll come up quite a bit, but there'll be a bit of metal there. Sort of what it looks like from this side. Oh, so I've cut a lot out. Just getting up into this part here, because obviously it comes along top there and then it curves around up there, so you've sort of got to put it in there. So basically just cutting more stuff out, cutting more out of the body, obviously cutting the rust out of the body instead of cutting the good metal out of that. So I just tried to describe to you what the old floor pan actually was here. So if you get a look up here, so if we look at that there, that is our old floor pan there. There was a little, your sill sits here, so not this outer bit here, that's actually this structure here. So it's actually where it joins here, this part right here, and it'll go all the way under there, all the way down. So remove as much of this stuff as you can. So now that I've cut that metal up there, so that's the rest of the floor pan done from that section there. Obviously it's rusty, so I hit that with a wire wheel and stuff like that. But first I'm going to take this, this is called the inner sill here, this part, which is really rusty. All through there, that's what we've got to take off now, just the rusty part. With this, I need to be careful not to take off too much metal, or I'm going to not know where to actually put the new floor pan, you know. I want to get it at the right sort of depth, and obviously if I have no metal left to tell me where the original depth was, it's going to be really difficult. This is primed up here with an etch primer and all in the back there, so I've grinded all the rust back the back of the panel, and so your rust won't come back. So I've got those tack welds in there now. I'm also going to put in place the extra little bits of metal. I'm just putting flat pieces in the spots where the rust was too bad and the floor pan didn't cover. I'm just gonna get those. I'm using 1.2 mil thickness metal. I've just got a bunch laying around, offcuts, stuff like that. That's all I need. And I'll just start cutting them up, shaping them, and okay, so I've been sweating away here. Got some good work done. I showed you on the GoPro. I'll show you now. So we've got the that strip in and welded the body and now the floor pan as well. And it comes down to this bit. So it's got the full curve in there. You know, there's a bit of a curve in there, but I don't really care all that much. I just want it to be strong and joined on there. That's what it looks like there. Not very pretty, but the next piece I'll do is this piece here. So you can see that's all welded there now, all through there. Obviously that part's welded. So just got to do this little hole here, and then I'm going to move up to this part up here and just keep going on it. It's pretty solid though. So I'll run you through a bit of the process here. This is one of the last ones. I've cut it up there. I've got it into shape there. It's pretty, you know, it's not fantastic to shape, but you know, it's obviously going to be enough to join those two panels. What I do is I just go along, boom, 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 all the way along with the welder, just individual little hits with the welder until it's all joined up, and I grind it down. So I'm going to go through and weld this one now. Should be the last one. Seems pretty good. Seems like a pretty good gap there. Gosh, there's so much welding to do here. It's unbelievable. .80 grit flat disc. This is what the grinding looks like here. Ground that whole thing down here, this whole part here, and this is the part up here that we just have to finish off. So just cutting up a few little sections there, putting them in and welding them up. So that's all the welding finished. No, I have to do the plug welds still. I'll do those real quick. So now it's done. Now it's done. Did the plug welds, did the grinding, a bit of grinding. This video is basically just getting the floor pan on there. Eventually, after I've done the other floor pan and a few other rust repairs and stuff, I'll come back and I'll do a lot of the shape work and stuff after I get the whole thing sandblasted. Anyway, I went around and put a bit of etch primer over the whole thing, so now it can sit for however long and it won't rust over the next however many months I spend doing the rest of the rust repairs. That's the floor pan. Stay tuned for the rest of the rust repairs. If you've got something rusty, I'll be repairing pretty much everything on this car. So that's it now, and I'll see you on the next one.